Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Her Story. So, last episode was left a little... You saw it, probably. Unless you're watching this now, then go back and watch it. So actually, something that I've wanted to search was the STD. If they both have the STD...
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them. There's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
She killed her parents with mushrooms. I mean, that's the conclusion that I jumped to. If this is a split personality, even if it wasn't, that's...
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Well, you did, for some reason. I just want to see if anyone brings up that she killed her parents.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Okay. I don't remember. Okay, it says 18. Okay, there is a new one. I'll watch the new one, and then I'm gonna search parents killed.
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Okay, jackpot apparently.
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven.
What?
Fingerprints. Yes, yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. Were the fingerprints in all those places? Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. Fucking idiot.
What? Okay. I mean, I should be, like, adding everything from the shirts that she's wearing and trying to get the stories to play through. I might do that, but I just, you know, let me play it out. So I wanted to see... Red rum. This is the first word that's ever searched. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the attic thing because there's gotta be something.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff, stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Okay, so are attics and cellars the same thing? I don't know. That is the video that I was looking for a while.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. His body. It didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. There's these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear them.
I'm gonna search that next.
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Yeah. I mean, it's starting to look more and more like it's a split personality thing. There was something I wanted to search, and I just forgotten it. Glasses.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror, and he gave it to me.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and say, yes, I'm done, just to see what happens. I'm gonna go over my list really quick and, So, I didn't ask about the car, so I know that she hit a taxi. Okay. Okay.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
I want to see if this is the same day. This is the 27th, that is the 27th. So it's the same day. I'm wondering if this is her switching.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted. I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there and I... Excuse me. Is there a bin?
What? I'm just gonna put that down there because that is...
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, so she threw up and had to
I
pull her
won't
hair
sleep
back.
again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say yes to this and just see what happens. If it just like kicks me out. What?
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
What? I mean, I saw this before, but I do not. Because that is her and the reflection. Is she her daughter too? I don't know how.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Let's see.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. It helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
I just got an achievement.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Her
I never
story.
spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know. It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
That's gotta be definitive evidence of a split personality. They changed clothes in the bathroom. That's something else I wanted to bring up. And I mean, why wouldn't you wear the same outfit every time? Like, if you both wanted to date, Simon must have known about the two personalities, I feel. She said it 3 times, I guess.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, well, I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked, well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
She said something about games and princess and the first few things of dialogue, like the first or second episode I did.
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
I'm gonna search a photo after this, but she's in white, so she's got something interesting to say.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper. undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Okay, I'm gonna search book, but there was something else I wanted to search that I forgot.
Yeah. We were 17.
Photo. Oops. Okay, so book.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
Okay.
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
Okay. So this is still, I mean, it's bizarre, but it's, I mean, there's some kind, I have to be sure that she is suffering from a personality disorder. Like, there is too much evidence for that not to be the case. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode because they've gotten longer. There's a lot of story here, and I'm trying to get through as much of it as I can. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye. I'm not liking the music. Fire kitty missile! Ah! Some man's gonna have kitty missile!